Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Making headlines this morning, a man is shot just west of downtown San Antonio. We'll have an update on his condition.
And this morning, the number of people killed in that earthquake in Turkey and Syria is now up to more than 9,000. What rescue crews are saying about the possibility of finding someone still alive.
LeBron James, a shot at history. LeBron stands alone. The NBA's all-time scoring record.
Yeah, you heard it right there. LeBron James now the NBA's all-time scoring record holder. How the basketball superstar was able to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's long-standing record.
And let's look out there with live cam. A lot of rain out there, 49 degrees and significantly cooler compared to yesterday morning.
And good morning to you, everybody. We've made it to Wednesday. It is February 8th.
Thanks for joining us. Yes, definitely grab that umbrella. Mine's already drenched from the rain coming in.
I heard the shower here downtown when you were walking in the door this morning. So there are some downpours out there. Be aware of that, especially as you are hitting the roads. And we're already seeing at least one incident out there on the roads this morning. More on that in just a moment.
And even if it's not raining where you are right now, grab your umbrella and your raincoat because it is kind of coming in little pockets and little waves. And this will be throughout the rest of the morning. Then it's going to be fantastic by the afternoon. But we've got to go through all this rain. First of all, the front moved through just on schedule last night and pushed some rain out ahead of it. And then we've got the showers and a couple of thunderstorms, in behind it. And as you can see, everything is kind of scattered. And all of these showers and even a couple of thunderstorms are sliding up to the north. But then the whole area of rain will continue to shift off to the east. So off there to the west, we've seen a few thunderstorms. And right here in town, got a couple of more that are coming in right around Elmendorf. And then just on the north side of the town over there by the airport, a pretty good downpour just moved on through there, continuing to slide up to the north. A few more around Helotes, going in toward Leon Springs. And then you can see over here just into right around western Kendall County, a fairly decent cell. And there have been a couple of these cells earlier this morning. There was some pea-sized hail reported around Kerrville. So don't be surprised if there may be a couple little spots of some small hail with a few of these. And as you see, just a few lightning strikes are also mixed in with some of those storms. So that's going to be the situation. A couple of brief heavy downpours. And then, like I said, everything's going to continue to move on out of here. Right now, we are at 50 at the airport, mid 40s in the hill country. So that's just about normal temperatures. We're still above normal slightly here in town by about 5-6 degrees. Pretty good breeze out there out of the northwest, 10, 15, 24 mile per hour wind gusts there in Los Maples. So it is going to be breezy throughout the day today. And we do have a lot of mold in the atmosphere. That's probably going to be going up with all this moisture. And we'll see what happens with mountain cedar, whether we are approaching the end of the season or not. So this morning, again, grab a rain jacket, grab your rain boots and your coat. We have showers and a few storms around here. Temperatures are going to stay pretty steady this morning. Northwesterly wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then later on today, we will have rain up through, mid to late morning. Then plenty of clouds hanging around here. Then the clouds continue to clear on out as we go into the afternoon hours. So a lot of sunshine, 61, good looking day, and it is going to be on the breezy side. Chilly tomorrow morning, nice warm afternoon. Then another front. It's going to bring some colder air. What's in store for the weekend? Details in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark.
Thank you, Mike. A man is in the hospital in critical condition after a shooting just west of downtown. That shooting happened just before 7 p.m. last night on South Colorado Street near South Brazos Street and I-10. When police got there, they found a man slumped over on the ground with 2 gunshot wounds to the arm and torso. He was taken to the hospital. Now, police used a helicopter to search the area for a suspect, but no one has been found.
Now to some dramatic images of rescues in the rubble after the historic earthquake on the Turkey-Syria border.
The death toll overnight approaching 10,000 people, and tens of thousands more are still feared trapped. ABC's Lionel Moyes has the latest.
This morning, American search and rescue teams arriving in Turkey to join the around-the-clock search for earthquake survivors in the bitter cold. New videos showing teams racing to save people buried in the rubble. This man digging through the rubble searching for his young daughter Noor, buried in debris. The rescuer saying, "Your father is here. Don't be scared. Nor, please look at me here. Talk to your father." Nor looking up and seeing her dad, she was finally freed after nearly 24 hours. For countless other families, immense grief. This father who lost his 15-year-old daughter refused to let go of her hand. And perhaps the most dramatic rescue so far, this newborn found alive, crying. The child's mother gave birth while buried underneath a collapsed apartment building. Sadly, she did not make it. More than 70 countries and 14 international organizations have now offered aid to Turkey, but the concern is growing that Syria, ravaged by years of civil war, is getting far less help, due in part to economic sanctions and political conflict. An estimated 23 million people have been affected by Monday's earthquake. Many people here in the U.S. are asking how they can help. For information on how to donate, visit unicefusa.org/ABC News. Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
President Joe Biden strongly encouraged Republicans to work with him in his State of the Union address last night. He says he wants them to finish the job when it comes to rebuilding the economy and uniting the nation. He used his address to try to reassure the country and offered a positive assessment of the nation's condition rather than rolling out policy proposals. He declared that America is, quote unquote, unbroken in the face of the pandemic and economic threats. It was Biden's first speech to Congress since Republicans took control of the House in the midterm elections.
7 additional Memphis police officers are expected to be disciplined in connection to the death of Tyree Nichols. The 29-year-old Nichols died days after he was beaten by Memphis police during a traffic stop last month. 5 of the officers are already charged with second-degree murder, among other charges. The Memphis City Council has unanimously voted to pass numerous public safety reforms. All 5 of the officers fired and charged with Nichols' death failed to follow the department's body-worn camera policy.
Basketball star LeBron James is now the NBA scoring king. Last night, James passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become NBA's all-time leading scorer. The Lakers star made a jump shot late in the third quarter against the Oklahoma City Thunder to break the record. Abdul-Jabbar scored 38,387 points in his 20-year career with the Lakers and the Milwaukee Bucks. He becomes the league's points champ in 1980. He became the league's points champion in 1984. James is now one of 7 players to score 30,000 career points and the youngest in NBA history to do it. The 38-year-old James is averaging 30 points per game this season. Right now, 437, 49 degrees. It's the kind of shopping that is part treasure hunt, part sport. We're taking a look at some of the best liquidation stores. And up next, the latest on the new Spurs trade and what Keldon Johnson thinks about going up against former teammate DeMar DeRozan. Could you guys kill Stephanie's microphone, please? Thank you very much. Right now, we're looking at 37 and Military. And I believe Stephen has told us this is southbound 37 at Southeast Military. This is listed as a minor accident, but it looks worse than that. From here, the flares are out. And showers in the area. We knew that was coming, but some of these downpours are pretty intense. Mike will have much more on that coming up right here on a Wednesday morning on GMSA. San Antonio Spurs say they've completed a trade with the Miami Heat. The team's acquired 33-year-old center Dwayne Dedmon and a 2028 second-rounder in exchange for cash considerations. Because the NBA requires teams to receive something in return for all trades, the minimum amount of cash the Spurs were required to send to the Heat was $110,000. Dedmon, who played for the Spurs in the 2016-17 season, could be waived as the Spurs can financially absorb his salary of $1.67 million. Meanwhile, the Spurs are 0-1 on the rodeo road trip after losing to the Bulls. Keldon Johnson, who's playing with a sore left ankle, led the Spurs with 21 points. His good friend and former teammate DeMar DeRozan scored 19 for the Bulls. Keldon says playing against him is pretty cool.
It's a surreal moment, obviously, learning from him my rookie year, my second year, and then, to see him go away. But I think definitely, him teaching me so many things and then playing against him and seeing the pump fake or trying to emulate some of his moves is definitely big. So, it's definitely like a big brother, little brother moment when we're playing in the game, and I love it every time.
All right, Spurs will play the Raptors tonight at 6:30. Special day for the TMI swim team at Josh Davis Natatorium yesterday during the TAPS Division II state championships. Junior Emily Kiriyama set 2 individual state records, and senior Meredith Holcomb won 2 events to help the TMI girls team win their 3rd straight team state championship. Boys also won state, so the Panthers swept both team titles for the first time in program history. Congratulations.
It feels really, really good. I'm just so proud of the team and the work that we put in. It's hard work, and it really shows, and I think we really deserve this win.
It was absolutely phenomenal. I had so much fun just racing with all my friends on my team and really getting to grow and share all these experiences with them.
You can find a full recap of the meet right now on the BGC page at KSAT.com.
Yeah, congratulations. Time now, 4:43 and 49 degrees for now. Still ahead, if you're looking for ways to save, think about visiting Liquidators for your purchases. Up next, we're going to show you some places to go and get brand name products for less.
The FAA investigating a fire on board a United Airlines flight out of San Diego, how the heroic quick thinking of flight attendants saved lives.
In this morning's GMA First Look, new details on that scare in the air.
127 souls on board, copy.
The FAA investigating after a fire broke out on a Newark-bound United flight leaving San Diego.
All of a sudden, there was some smoke. The guy next to me, 2 seats over, started to scream. And then I saw a flash of fire.
United telling ABC News it was a battery brick that burst into flames. Crew members immediately putting it inside a thermal containment bag like this one, designed to contain a small battery fire and put it out.
The fire is out, and it's in the lab, and we just need to check on the thermal condition of the brake so we can maybe roll off and get over the gate.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have more on how the quick-thinking flight attendants saved lives. With your GMA First Look, I'm Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
All right, changing the subject entirely, shopping liquidation stores can be a fun way to shop and save a little cash.
You can find many things at a sliver of the retail price. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz takes us along for the hunt.
This kind of shopping is part treasure hunt. What's the best thing you ever found?
Tablet, and I found it for $5. Oh, these shoes right here. Look at these shoes. $5.
And part sport. These folks are literally digging for deals.
$2. Yes.
Our first stop is Bargains Depot, a warehouse filled with bins stacked with stuff. Where do they get their inventory?
So we get it from all the major retailers. So if you shop anywhere from Target, Wally World, Amazon, we've got it here more than likely and for a fraction of the price.
Big retailers like Target, Home Depot, and Amazon unload their glut of surplus inventory and returned products to the secondary market, now a multi-billion-dollar industry. Over at the Deals Outlet bin store, we found everything from clothing to the bathroom sink. Leticia Rio scored a bag of flowers.
Not even Dollar Tree has the flowers anymore for $1. So these were $1.
They just love it. Yeah. There's things that they buy at Walmart and they come back over here and it's like $8 and it's like $15, $20 at Walmart. So they're getting a good buy.
So I picked up a few things, this book for $3, this Contigo water bottle for $7, and this big bag of velvet pumpkins. Combined, this stuff cost me about $27. I then looked up the price retail. That was $73. Before you bin shop, know this.
Early bird gets the worm.
These particular stores have new inventory on Fridays, and then the price drops daily. Check retail prices to be sure you're getting a deal. And check the item thoroughly because sales are final. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Let's look out there with TransGuide, and you can see in this shot, this is the clearing stage of an accident along I-37 southbound, and this is near Southeast Military. You can kind of see a shot of that right now.
Looks like it's cleared out. Maybe some guardrail damage out there as well. Well, the molds are really getting people the last couple days. We've had some rain in the area, and it jumps like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I guess that's, unfortunately, that's one of the problems about it getting all the rain, but at least we're getting a lot of rain. So that's the nice thing about it. Since we haven't, it's been forever. It seems like we've had a lot of good, decent rain around here. And there is more, this morning. You can see it is wet out there by the airport right now. now. And here's what it looks like on radar. Around the area, it's just kind of confined, I guess you'd say, right in the middle portion of our viewing area. And we do have a couple of decent downpours here and there, right there on the southeast side. We've got some of these showers and a couple of heavier downpours coming in here, heading up in toward Elmendorf, and again, everything is kind of sliding up to the north. As far as the rainfall rates with these, it is coming down at a pretty good clip. Some of the rainfall rates, now this doesn't mean you're going to be getting this much rain, but those little spots right there, 5 inches per hour. If it sat there for 1 hour, you'd get about 5 inches of rain, but these are moving along at a good pace. However, it's one of those where if you're driving, it's going to be just almost like blinding rain. You may have to sort of pull over, and you'll definitely hear it on top of that. Back to the radar, and further off to the north and west, we've got a few more of these showers and even a couple of thunderstorms in parts of the hill country. And like I said off the top of the show, we've seen some of these produce a little bit of hail. This one up here just to the north of Comfort continues to slide up there to the north, and it's got some lightning strikes associated with it, and maybe even a little bit of pea-sized hail mixed in as well. So this is going to continue to stick around for the next couple of hours. Then it's going to continue to move on. Even though the individual cells are moving up to the north, everything's going to slide off to the east. We're at 50 right now, mid-40s hill country, so we're still 5-6 degrees above normal here in town, and throughout the rest of the morning we will continue to have some of these showers, a couple of thunderstorms around here. Temperatures just going to stay steady all morning long. Then we'll start to creep up a little bit as we go into the late morning. Rain chances die off, and then the clouds will begin to break up somewhat. We'll still have plenty of clouds at noon, then a bunch more sunshine later on this afternoon. We'll make it up to 61, and we will have wind out of the northwest about 15-20 miles per hour. Computer model over the next couple of hours keep some of these scattered showers, a couple of thunderstorms around here, a few decent downpours. Then this will all continue, like I said, to work its way off to the east. And we start to clear out quite nicely, and this drier air out here to the west of us will also continue to move on in here. So that means like I said, we're going to have plenty of sunshine, blue skies today, and then that's going to stick around for a few days. So it'll be beautiful the next couple of days. 54 today at noon, mostly cloudy skies. We have the rain this morning, and then later on this afternoon, a lot of sunshine, 61, breezy. Then tomorrow morning, with this dry air in place, clear skies, we get down to 40, huge warm up to 70. Different story, though, because we get another front moving through here, and this one pulls down some pretty cold air. 39 Friday morning, 58 both Friday, Saturday, sunshine, freezing Saturday morning, more clouds Sunday, another chance of rain late Monday, early Tuesday.
Mild.
Every few days a front, every few days some rain. Love this.
Yeah, it's good changes. I like it. Thanks, Mike.
452, 49 degrees.
Bouquets keep coming in for Miley Cyrus. Up next, how her latest hit Flowers compares to her other longest running song in the #1 spot.
Less than 5 till 5, Miley Cyrus is still getting praised on the Billboard charts, and Barbra Streisand releases a massive memoir.
For the latest of what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
The bouquets keep coming in for Miley Cyrus. Her single Flowers, #1 for a third week on the Billboard Hot 100 Singles Chart. That ties her previous longest run at #1. The song Wrecking Ball three-peated in 2013. Flowers is the first single off Cyrus's upcoming album, Endless Summer Vacation, which will be out March 10th. We're about to learn a whole lot more about Barbra Streisand. The 80-year-old icon is releasing a memoir titled My Name is Barbra. We're told Streisand will tell her own story about her life and extraordinary career, and it's frank, funny, opinionated, and charming, like Streisand herself. My Name is Barbra will be out November 10th.
What's in that bowl?
Lukita Maxwell is towards the beginning of her acting career. The 21-year-old co-stars in Shrinking with Jason Segel and Harrison Ford, telling me the first day she met Ford, she was a little intimidated, but he quickly let her know she was part of the club.
He walked up to me, and he didn't say anything. He just tapped me on the shoulder and just nodded his head, just like that. He just went. And I died. I was just standing there like, okay. And I ran home and called my mom.
A new episode of Shrinking hits Apple TV Plus on Friday. And have the orchestra play happy birthday today. Legendary composer John Williams is 91, while Grammy-winning singer and rapper Anderson .Paak is 37. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And what Jason didn't mention in that story, apparently Barbara Streisand's memoir is 1,000 pages.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a read.
Good reading.
457, 49 degrees.
And last night in the State of the Union, President Biden challenged the new Republican-controlled Congress to work with him to finish the job. Why Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders is rejecting Biden's upbeat vision of the country.
And a plea deal gets a man a 20-year prison sentence for 2 homicides here in Bexar County. Up next, when he will be eligible for parole.
And let's look out there with TransSky, looking over at some flashing lights over there at I-37 at Southeast Military. The birthday person is in the house. Stephen Cavazos, happy birthday. We'll be checking in with him very soon.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
The driver of an 18-wheeler opens fire during a road rage incident. An update on that victim that was shot 3 times. And we'll tell you if San Antonio police were able to catch the shooter.
I'm ABC's Faith Abube on Capitol Hill. President Biden delivers his second State of the Union address. Why some Republicans were booing and jeering in the chamber. Coming up.
And let's look out there with live cam. A rainy morning. This shot not too bad, though. 49 degrees, a little cooler.
And good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, February 8th.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you've had a good week so far. And now we just want to know, how long is the rain going to stick around?
Mike?
Throughout the rest of the morning, it's going to be around for the morning commute off and on. So it's not like, hi.
Hi. It takes a second.
Here we go. It's not like it's just completely solid rain, just these spots here and there. But like I said, it's going to be on around here throughout the rest of the morning. As far as temperature out at the airport, 49 degrees right now. Wind is shifted around to the northwest. That front moved through late last night, right on schedule, brought the rain with it, some lingering showers in behind. And even though it has brought in drier air, we still have temperature, dew point temperature neck and neck. So we still have 93% humidity out there. A lot of humidity, and that's helping to feed some of these showers and a couple of thunderstorms. 61 for a high temperature later on today. We are going to be seeing a lot more in the way of some sunshine. The aquifer went down 1/10 of a foot in yesterday's reading. Hopefully that gets a bit of a boost because a lot of these showers are falling in parts of the recharge zone. Mold is on the high side, and that's probably going to be going up. My guess would be with all the moisture we've had overnight. Mountain cedar and ash are all on the low side. So we still have plenty of showers and a couple of decent cells here and there. This is what is north of town as of right now, and everything is continuing to, again, slide up there right to the north. So the nice thing is these things are moving along at a fairly decent clip. So we're not just having it sit in one spot. And we've got maybe right up there in that cell, perhaps a little bit of small hail. There have been reports of a little bit of hail with some of these cells earlier this morning over there in Kerrville. And this cell right here, this one has been kind of growing right heading in toward Medina Lake. Boy, if this thing would just park over Medina Lake for a couple hours, that would be nice. And as you can see, a few lightning strikes, these little white lines coming off of that. This is, again, sliding up to the north. And then closer into town, we've got this line of rain from about 1604-35 on the northeast side all the way through East San Antonio, East Bexar County, and then heading on down to the south. And again, everything is sliding up to the north at a fairly decent clip. So it's not just sitting in one spot. And as I mentioned, everything's sort of broken up. It's not constant, completely filled in rain, but we will continue to see more of these showers and even a couple of thunderstorms throughout the rest of the morning. And all this will also work its way. Even though individual cells are moving primarily up to the north, all this will work its way off to the east throughout the course of the morning. 49 in town, mid-40s hill country. Once again, consistent temperatures, but much cooler than what it was at this time yesterday. North to northwesterly wind, 10, 15 miles per hour. Got a couple of gusts on there as well. Showers, a few storms. Maybe a little bit of pea-sized hail. Just be on the lookout for that. Don't be surprised with that. That's going to be the exception rather than the rule. And then becoming mostly sunny, cool and breezy, 61 for a high temperature. Very cold start tomorrow, right around 40. Huge warm up, 30 degrees throughout the day. Not the situation, though, Friday into the weekend. Another front moves on through here. Very cold. As a matter of fact, going to be hitting freezing Saturday morning here in town. Staying cool in the afternoon, but plenty of sunshine. A few more clouds around on Sunday. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, the birthday boy. That's what's playing on the radio.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you right now in his car. Right?
Hey, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. But you know what? The rain's not really causing too many problems out on the roadway. We did have one crash along 37 at Southeast Military. That was reported as a minor crash, according to our friends over at TxDOT. But looks like that's already cleared out, and right now traffic's moving along. But just remember, roads are wet right now, so just take it easy as the commute does get rolling there. 35 at Evans, really north and southbound lanes. We're starting to see a little bit more folks pick up in that area, but some droplets taking over that TransGuide camera. Again, watch out this morning. We can expect the commute to be a little wet, so that means those roadways are going to be wet as well. All right, getting into that crash, it's already cleared out. 37 southbound at Southeast Military. It was causing a little bit of a slowdown in the southbound lanes, but it has cleared out, so that's better news to report. Hopefully everyone is okay out there, but wider look at the map does show a great start to this Wednesday morning. You can see, of course, we're going to have a few of those active construction spots, but if you're traveling into San Antonio, just watch out because, again, we can expect a wet commute, but there's no need to rush really because right now we're not seeing any delays just yet. Still pretty pleasant on I-37 northbound traveling in from Pleasanton, so that crash, again, wasn't impacting the traffic in the northbound lanes. Eastbound lanes of 90 looks like about a 30-minute drive time, so the usual drive time for our friends heading in from Castroville, and that arrival from Lytle should be within about 17 minutes. All right, one last look around town here. 10 at Probent. Quiet start so far, but we know certain areas are already starting to pick up, but we'll keep a close eye on things and have updates throughout the morning. Guys?
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, San Antonio police are trying to find the driver of a big rig that shot a man 3 times overnight. This all happened in the area of 410 and WW White just after midnight. Police say the victim was involved in a road rage incident with the driver of the 18-wheeler. SAPD says that driver shot the victim 3 times and continued along northbound 35 near Rittiman and was not caught. The victim pulled over to get help and was taken to a hospital in critical condition at first. However, we hear he is doing better now. Part of the highway was closed for about 2 hours. Well, UTSA will continue giving students an opportunity to pursue doctorate degrees, all thanks to a federally funded grant for its Ronald E. McNair program.
Alyssa Cole joins us live now. And Alyssa, the purpose of this grant allows students to carry out thesis-driven research.
Yes, good morning, Mark and Stephanie. That's exactly right. This federal money is crucial at universities like UTSA because it allows students who are underrepresented, minority students, to carry out research at fully accredited universities. Now, this is particularly important here in South Texas because UTSA first-generation undergrad student Erica McFarland experienced life-changing opportunities as a result of it. Under the summer internship program, McFarland carried out research on systematic literature review that analyzes how college students' mental health was affected from social isolation during the COVID-19 pandemic. She hopes the research benefits mental health development in the future.
College students are a very vulnerable population due to reliance on social relationships as well as stress from academic pursuits, and they're also overlooked in the United States.
Now, McFarland is using this opportunity to work towards her mission of pursuing a master's and doctorate, as we mentioned earlier. And when I spoke to her, she tells me she sees this as her mission to become an expert in maternal and child mental health to make a positive impact for a woman in the future. And before I let you all go, it's quite important to mention, since we just had the anniversary of the Challenger, and of course since it's Black History Month, a lot of you all may not know who Ronald E. McNair is, but Ronald McNair, he was an African-American physicist and that's an astronaut and researcher. He was one of 3 mission specialists, a part of a crew of 7. He died in the 1980s, a part of the Challenger mission. Reporting live outside of the UTSA downtown headquarters, Alyssa Cole, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Alyssa. A plea deal got this man a 20-year prison sentence. Anthony Nash is convicted for 2 homicides 2 weeks apart back in 2020. He was sentenced yesterday in the 226th District Court. The first shooting is from January 7th, 2020. 30-year-old Anthony Sinks was gunned down at an apartment complex on Cinnamon Creek. Now, another man, this is John Sherringhausen, was sentenced to 40 years in prison back in 2021. Court records show he, along with Nash, lured Sinks out to be shot and killed. 2 weeks later, on January 24th, the shooting happened on Renova Street. That is where 27-year-old 20-year-old Andrew Salazar was killed. San Antonio police say he was shot while driving in his Ford pickup truck. Now, police arrested Nash more than a year later for the death of Sanks, then connected him to this shooting. Because of the plea deal, Nash is allowed to serve both sentences at the same time. Nash will be eligible for parole in 10 years.
5:09, President Biden praised American resilience during his second of the State of the Union address in front of a joint session of Congress last night.
But as ABC's Faith Abube explains, his speech sparked some tense moments in the chamber.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
President Biden kicked off his second State of the Union address calling for a unity agenda, highlighting how bipartisanship has led to several accomplishments in his first 2 years in office.
Democrats and Republicans came together. You came together to pass once in a generation infrastructure law, building bridges connecting our nation and our people.
The president's speech prompting multiple rounds of applause from both sides of the political aisle as he talked about issues like public safety, spotlighting the parents of Tyree Nichols in the room.
Just as every cop, when they pin on that badge in the morning, has a right to be able to go home at night, so does everybody else out there.
But the warm welcome by the politically divided Congress quickly turning into a rowdy reception.
Some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority. Anybody who doubts it, contact my office. I'll give you a copy. I'll give you a copy of the proposal.
Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene among those seen calling the president a liar. President Biden grinning and engaging with the jeering Republicans.
Well, I'm glad to see you. And I tell you, I enjoy conversion. Apparently, it's not going to be a problem.
The president's address touching on a host of issues, including a call for an assault weapons ban, abortion rights, funding for Ukraine, policing and immigration reform, as well as his administration's effort to cool inflation, urging Republicans to join him to finish the job.
If we could work together the last Congress, there's no reason we can't work together and find consensus on important things in this Congress as well.
Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders delivering the Republican response.
The Biden administration seems more interested in woke fantasies than the hard reality Americans face every day.
And a source tells ABC News White House officials were very happy with the president's performance. He was welcomed back with cheers and high fives. On Capitol Hill, Faith Abube, ABC News.
And time now is 5:12 and 48 degrees for now.
Just ahead, how Facebook is helping creators have more control over their comment section.
And let's look out there with live cam. A rainy start to you today. You can see the raindrops there on the camera lens. 48 degrees. We'll be right back.
Good morning, 5:15. Facebook has introduced new tools to make it easier for creators to manage their comments section. ABC's Andrew Dembert has details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Facebook is giving creators more control over their comment section. The company just announced new comment moderation tools. You can search comments by keywords or emojis, then take action in bulk, such as liking or hiding them. It's part of an effort to promote online safety. Google is taking a step it says will make internet surfing safer. The company will soon automatically blur explicit images that appear in searches. The setting will be in effect even if the safe search function is off. The feature will not affect explicit text or links. Finally, WhatsApp users can now use their own voice to leave a status update. Voice status lets users record an update up to 30 seconds long, and you can now use an emoji to react to updates from others. Now, if for some reason you record a pony as your voice status, just a warning, it might sound a little hoarse. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
We saw that one coming from a mile away.
Yeah, still clever.
5:16, 48 degrees.
Let's look out there with TransGuy looking at the shot over at Highway 90 at Loop 1604. Things are moving there right now, but we're going to be checking in with the birthday boy, Stephen Cavazos, very soon.
That's me before dawn power wash. Soaking, scrubbing. That's life. Was life. Now Power Wash gives me the power of an overnight soak in minutes. I'm sorry, minutes? With 3 cleaning boosters not found in traditional dish soaps that help break down, loosen, and lift away food and grease. So much faster. Just spray suds on. No water needed till rinsing. Tougher mess? Let the suds sit a few minutes before wiping. Even cleans the grill. Thank you. It's more than soap. It's Power Wash.
One roll of a lifetime, one sore throat. But she had enough. She took Mucinex InstaSoothe sore throat lozenges. Show your sore throat who's boss. Mucinex InstaSoothe works in seconds, lasts for hours.
Think he's posting about all that ancient Roman coinage? No. He's making real-time money moves with Merrill. So no matter what the market's doing, he's ready. And that's how you collect coins.
Your money never stops working for you with Merrill, a Bank of America company.
Good morning. Time check is 5:19. Let's get a quick look at your morning commute. Lots of those droplets are taking over our TransGuide cameras, but let's show you what the commute looks like out there for you. If you do plan to hit the roads in the next few moments, expect a wet drive right now. 410 at Morrison. Not a lot of traffic out there. At 1604 right there at Valley Meadow. You can see a lot of that really just, again, taking over the camera lens. So really sometimes some of these cameras are hard to take a look at the commute out there, but what we can see is really not a lot of issues. However, it does look like we may have seen another issue that popped up here, or detected another issue, I should say, along I-10 eastbound near UTSA Boulevard. TxDOT is reporting a crash in those eastbound lanes, but it doesn't appear to be impacting traffic. I'll have to get our friends at TransGuide on the phone and find out exactly what the conditions look like out there, but hopefully everyone's doing okay. Wide look at the map does show, thankfully, it is a quiet start to this Wednesday morning, but if you plan to head to the gas station, we have an update from our friends over at AAA. As of right now, the average gas price in Bexar County is $2.98. Around the state, we're looking at $3.04, and around the country, $3.44. And according to AAA, as of 2 days ago, Texas is one of the least expensive markets, so there is some consolation prize there. So other than that, these are the average gas prices from AAA. I've been seeing a lot of that $2.98 at some of the gas stations that I've been traveling to, Mike, but folks may see a different number depending on where they head to.
Yeah, better than that. Well,
yeah,
317 or something?
Yeah, 317, something like that.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, all around town, most of the roads are wet, even though it's not raining right where you are right now. And as you can see, there's kind of a couple of different bands of rain well off to the east, one cutting through the eastern portion of Bexar County, and then one out there in portions of the hill country. And have to hats off to the computer models yesterday, because they picked up, especially on these heavier cells out in the hill country, very, very well yesterday, and said it was going to be right around this time of the morning that would be going on. So here in the eastern portion of Bexar County, all the way from 35 and 1604, 1604 and 35, beg your pardon, down to 410, and then right on through China Grove, down in toward Elmendorf. And again, all this is working its way up to the north. A couple of showers there on the southwest side, but the one area that really got to take note of is right here in Bandera County. Now, first of all, to check out the rainfall rates, because you can see those darker shades of red, the purples in there. And so this is coming down at a really, really good clip. And we're looking at some of the estimates on radar. Some of these cells are producing rain at the rate of about 3, maybe, well, perhaps a bit more than that. Let me erase this and relocate and come right up there and see what's going on as far as the amount of rain. Well, I'll get it to work here in a second. There we go. About 5, close to 6 inches per hour. Again, that doesn't mean you're going to be getting that much rain, but these are coming down definitely in buckets. And then this is all working its way up to the north. And as far as any hail associated with this, there is nothing showing up as of right now, but some of these cells have had a history of a little bit of hail in them earlier this morning, especially up there around Kerrville. So all of this will continue, again, to work its way up to the north, as will all of these cells continue to work their way up to the north, and the whole band is going to work its way off to the east as the morning rolls on, which is exactly what this computer model does indicate. We'll still have some of these showers around here. Already picked up yesterday 1/4 inch of rain officially out there at the airport. And then obviously that's being added to. By early afternoon, we do start to clear out around here, and it's going to be a beautiful afternoon. Lots of sunshine. It's going to be on the breezy side, however. Today, 54 at noon, mostly cloudy skies. We will have the rain coming to an end, still some leftover showers throughout the mid-morning hours, and then a lot more sunshine later on today, and 61 for a high temperature. Mostly sunny skies. Bit on the breezy side. Now, we clear out tonight, not as much wind. That gets us down to 40. Big warm up to 70. Front moves through, much colder. 58s both Friday, Saturday, down to freezing by Saturday, but great looking weather. Then more clouds Sunday, another chance of rain next week. More after this.
527, two hit movies from yesteryear are returning to the spotlight.
CNN's David Daniel has details in today's Hollywood Minute.
Open your eyes.
It's hard to imagine 25 years and more than $2 billion in ticket sales later, but Titanic writer-director James Cameron thought the film might flop.
We didn't think it was going to make any money. Honestly, we went into it and we just thought, okay, well, we've gone from we'll never work again to we'll probably get to work again as long as we don't ever do another movie like Titanic.
Titanic returns to theaters Friday.
It's pretty strange that we keep running into each other.
Maybe it means something.
I doubt it.
Yeah. La La Land is headed to Broadway. The 2016 movie musical that almost won the Best Picture Oscar is being adapted as a stage show, which will feature music by the same team that did the feature film. No word on casting or a premiere date yet. It's not the first La La Land adaptation. A concert version has toured the world since 2017. In Hollywood, the city of stars, I'm David Daniel.
By the way, I checked on Titanic here in San Antonio at 2 theaters, and they were only playing it in 3D, and a lot of people don't like that.
Yeah.
They just want to see it on a biggest screen possible.
That's weird that there's not more options.
Yep, 528, 48 degrees.
More than 114,000 Honda cars are being recalled. We're going to tell you why.
And if you're a Bed Bath & Beyond fan, better shop sooner than later. We'll tell you how many more stores could be closing soon.
We can't turn away. Let's do what we know in our hearts, that we need to do. Let's come together to finish the job on police reform. Do something.
President Biden talking police reform last night during the State of the Union address this morning. Why 7 more Memphis police officers are expected to be disciplined in connection to the death of Tyree Nichols.
And let's look out there with live cam. That cold front moved right in. We're at 48 degrees and we got some rain.
And a good morning to you. It is Wednesday. It is the February 8th, and we have to say happy birthday to our very own Stephen Cavazzi.
Happy birthday.
I appreciate that. It feels weird. I was telling Mike, 34 feels a lot like 33. So it's not really that much of a difference to me, but mid-30s is great.
You don't look a day over 33.
Oh,
so.
thank you. Yeah, but it's a busy day. My sister's birthday's tomorrow. My older sister's birthday's on Friday, 8, 9, 10.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of celebrating.
They have a very busy week ahead.
So everybody just kind of shops all at once for cards and gets it out of the way for the year.
Here you go. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good planning on your parents' cards. So.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you, guys.
All right, a little bit of a gift as far as some rain out there on this birthday Wednesday, and it's going to continue throughout the rest of the morning. We've got a couple of heavier downpours in places. Temperature right now is at 49 out there at the airport. Dew point's at 47, and obviously those two numbers are running neck and neck, but we've got a good wind out there, so we're not seeing any. Usually in that situation we'd see some fog, but we've got a good breeze coming in here out of the northwest in behind that front that moved through late last night, right on schedule. Now, even though that moved through, we do still have some of these showers on the back side of the front, and they will continue in through the next couple of hours. So coming in here anywhere from, say, Schertz, Garden Ridge area, right down eastern Bexar County, even just a couple of heavier downpours just right around China Grove. All this is sliding up to the north as well as around Elmendorf. And then further off to the north and west, we've got this one cell, and there have been a couple of lightning strikes, maybe one lightning strike right there in eastern Bandera County, just right around Bernie. Some pretty hefty downpours. Again, everything is moving off to the north at a good clip. A good 30-35 miles per hour, and so it's not just sitting in one spot, although we are going to have to be on the lookout for maybe a little bit of ponding on the roads with those heavy downpours as they work their way on through. So just look out for that. Assume all the roads, even though it's not raining where you are right now, grab an umbrella, grab a rain jacket, because this will continue for the next couple of hours throughout the rest of the morning. Mid to lower 40s in parts of the hill country, a couple of low 50s, but pretty consistent temperatures right now. And like I said, a good breeze out of the northwest, and also got a couple of gusts out there. Mold is on the high side. Mountain cedar, ash are both low. Updated count comes out in about a couple of hours or so. 54 today at noon, 61 for a high temperature. We are going to see plenty of sunshine, some leftover showers this morning. Then a little sunshine at noon, a whole bunch more, 61 northwesterly winds. So a nice cool day. We clear out tonight. Much colder tomorrow morning, big warm up in the afternoon, and then much colder Friday into the weekend. Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, wet roads causing any problems out there?
You know, Mike, I think that's safe to say here at 10 at UTSA Boulevard. I mentioned this to you earlier. I spoke to our friends at TransGuide. They were able to get us a shot of the conditions, and you can see that we have those flashing lights, wet roads, and traffic's already picking up just a bit. But unfortunately, we're not able to get a closer shot in on the situation that's taking place out there. But we can tell you from what we are seeing, it does look like we at least have one first responder on the scene. So hopefully this is a minor crash that will clear soon. But be on the lookout. It's being reported in the eastbound lanes of I-10 as you approach UTSA Boulevard. So if you're heading downtown for whatever reason on I-10 and that's through your route, just again, watch out for those first responders who are working to clear the scene. Wide look at the map really doesn't show a lot else out there. We do have active construction, so hopefully that rain doesn't impact any big projects that are taking place, especially on the northeast side. But we do know that it could impact your drive time. So again, just make sure you drive safe out there. Thankfully, there is no need to rush if you are traveling on I-10 eastbound, heading in from Bernie. 25 minutes, so that crash really isn't impacting the drive time for any of the commuters. 27 minutes on 281 southbound traveling in from Bulverde, and it's about a 26-minute drive time if you're traveling along I-35 southbound from New Braunfels. But let's get it back to the problem here at 10 at UTSA Boulevard. Again, it does look like this is a minor crash, and that's exactly what TxDOT is reporting. But hopefully in the next few minutes, we'll have a better update to report. Guys.
Stephen, thank you. A warning, this next story does contain material that some viewers may find disturbing. Tyree Nichols' parents were among the invited guests at last night's State of the Union address.
And as CNN's John Lawrence reports, Nichols' death, which came following a severe beating by Memphis police, has reignited calls for police reform.
7 additional Memphis police officers are expected to be disciplined in connection to the death of Tyree Nichols, according to City Attorney Jennifer Sink.
Police officers should be held accountable when they go beyond their duties and brutalize and murder individuals.
The 29-year-old Nichols died days after he was beat by Memphis police during a traffic stop last month.
This should never happen. No parent should feel what I feel or what my husband feels. I don't wish this on my worst enemy.
5 of the officers are already charged with second-degree murder, among other charges. And according to the New York Times, one of those officers admitted he took a photo of a battered Nichols and sent it to several people. On Tuesday, the Memphis City Council unanimously voted to pass numerous public safety reforms in their first meeting since the Nichols incident.
I think the public really wants to hear one thing. Going forward, how do we prevent what took place in the Tyree Nichols matter?
During Tuesday night's State of the Union address, with Nichols' parents in attendance, President Joe Biden called on Congress to also take action.
We can't turn away. Let's do what we know in our hearts that we need to do. Let's come together to finish the job on police reform. Do something.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
U.S. intelligence officials now believe the balloon that was shot down off the coast of the Carolinas is part of an extensive surveillance program by the Chinese military. Now, the U.S. does not know the exact size of the fleet of Chinese surveillance balloons. However, their sources say the program has conducted at least 24 missions over the last at least 5 continents in recent years. One official familiar with the intelligence says about half a dozen of those flights have been within U.S. airspace, but not necessarily over U.S. territory. China maintains the balloon was a weather balloon thrown off course, and the U.S., they claim, overreacted by shooting it down. It's also asking for the debris of their craft to be returned.
Texas is suing over new federal guidance focused on abortion medication. Under new Health and Human Services guidance, pharmacies that receive Medicare and Medicaid funds cannot turn away people who have prescriptions for drugs that may end a pregnancy. So now Texas has filed a federal lawsuit arguing the policy violates the Constitution. The state claims it forces pharmacies to carry abortion drugs in states where abortion is banned. The lawsuit was filed in a division of Texas's Western District Court that almost guarantees the case will be before a judge appointed by former President Donald Trump.
The man accused of stealing monkeys from the Dallas Zoo says he plans to go steal more if he gets out of jail. According to a police affidavit, 24-year-old Davion Irvin admitted to the thefts after he was arrested last week. It all started January 13th when police say Irvin entered the Dallas Zoo and cut the fenced enclosure for the clouded snow leopard. The leopard was found on zoo property later that afternoon. On January 30th, 2 monkeys were stolen. The monkeys were later found at a vacant home that Irvin is said to frequently visit. Inmate search records show that Irvin is still being held at the Dallas County Jail on a $25,000 bond. He faces 6 counts of animal cruelty and 2 counts of burglary to a building.
The time now is 5:39 and 48 degrees for now.
Honda is recalling more than 114,000 vehicles. Just ahead, we'll tell you why and which vehicles are affected.
And more Bed Bath & Beyond stores will be closing soon. What the company is saying about which locations will be affected.
Outside with live cam, showers this morning and sun later on. That's Mike's forecast in short. He'll have details coming up, and we'll check back in with the birthday boy, Steven Cavazos, coming up.
And welcome back. It's 5:42 in your morning consumer headlines. Bed Bath & Beyond is closing more stores. The retailer says it will be shutting down 150 locations just a week after it announced it was closing 87 stores. Now, the home goods chain has not released a list of locations of the new store closures, nor have they said how many workers will be impacted. Bed Bath & Beyond says it raised $1 billion in a last-ditch effort to stave off bankruptcy. Now, the new closings mean Bed Bath & Beyond have shuttered 400 stores in the past year, almost half the stores it had opened in February of last year.
Health experts are hoping to end marketing tactics for baby formula that they call exploitative. The report calls out companies that suggest that common infant issues such as fussiness, colic, or short nighttime sleep duration are signs of breastfeeding issues that formula can fix. The report acknowledges that formula is necessary for some women who cannot breastfeed or choose not to. Experts hope that governments, workplaces, and healthcare corporations will support women who want to breastfeed by providing them with more resources to do so.
Honda is recalling more than 114,000 vehicles over backup camera display that may not work when the vehicle is in reverse. So the recall involves 2018 to 2020 Fit hatchbacks and 2019 to 2022 HRV SUVs. The malfunction is a result of a faulty audio system circuit, and it only involves vehicles with an ignition key, not a push-button start. So Honda says it's aware of just over 200 warranty claims related to the issue, but no injuries. The automaker is asking owners of the affected vehicles to bring them to a dealership for a software update. Honda will contact owners by mail beginning in mid-March.
544, 48 degrees.
Coming up next, we are checking out a pet from the Animal Defense League.
And checking TransGuide, flashing lights right now at 10 at UTSA Boulevard. We'll take a closer look coming up.
Look at this little, I shouldn't say little baby, big baby, only 5 months old. Nadia's here from the Animal Defense League. Who's this girl?
This is Barcelona. She's 5 months. She's a Plot Hound mix, but as you can tell, beautiful coloring.
Oh, brindled coat on her, a short hair easy to take care of. And she's got a lot of puppy in her, so a lot of energy, but she's going to, I got that spot right there.
You did.
She's going to be very easily trained, though, and backyard tennis ball kids.
Oh my gosh, yes. She seems perfect, honestly. She knows how to sit. I think she knows how to shake. So again, very trainable to your point.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And, yeah, she'll be, like I said, good running partner, and she'll probably run like a deer too.
Yes,
so fosters, more fosters.
Yes, so definitely we're looking for embark fosters, kitten fosters. The season is coming up. Kitten season starts in February, so that's only a few days away, or we're here already. And we need about 8 fosters a day in order to be saving more lives every day. So
you can foster for as much time as you want. Another dog just walked in the studio, so somebody's ears just perked up, so she found a friend there. But yeah, head on over to the Animal Defense League. Kids can get volunteer hours for fostering as well, so if you'd like more information, or Barcelona, she is a sweet puppy. Yeah, okay, you can go visit your new friend there. 11th at Nacogdoches Paul Jolly Center or PetSmart. Thank you, Joel. Okay, go visit your friend. Go.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Game on.
I think, yeah, that's very cute, though. Very cute.
5:48.
Let's go ahead and check back with Stephen Cavazos. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you very much. And I have to say thank you to Steph for this balloon that she has linked up to our monitors here. So I'm going to keep this up all day.
It matches.
It does.
Yeah.
We're on brand. All right, let's get a look here at 10 at UTSA Boulevard. Better news to report here. That crash we told you about earlier has already cleared out. Traffic, though, is picking up nicely there in the eastbound lanes of I-10 where that crash was reported. Thankfully, it really wasn't causing any delays, and it was reported as a minor crash. So hopefully everyone's doing okay, but it's already cleared out and traffic is already picking up in the eastbound lane. So we can likely see that as we get you a wide look at the map. We're going to see that on a lot of those spots there along US 90 as you're traveling eastbound, but right now things are quiet. But be on the lookout. 281, we have some work taking place. Told you about this on Monday, and we're going to see the work continue today. Should wrap tomorrow, Thursday, February 9th. It begins at 9 in the morning and should wrap again at 3 in the afternoon. That's when we're going to see alternating lane closures in both directions right there at Bulverde Road. But I'm sure David Sears will let us know how that is going to impact the commute as he makes his way down 281. But back here, 10 at UTSA Boulevard, that crash is cleared out. So happy to report some better news there.
All right, we also have 24 donuts waiting for you in the newsroom.
Yes,
this morning.
I already may have picked one already.
So we're going to have more calories.
3 dozen donuts.
3 dozen donuts.
3 dozen donuts in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, darn it. I said I'd split them with whoever bought them, too. So we're going to have more calories than candles this morning.
3 dozen. Yeah, 3 dozen. Yeah, I love that.
Would you go snag another one for us?
Yeah, commercial break, yes.
Your donut's going to be a little soggy this morning if you leave them outside. So because, we got a lot of rain out there, a lot of beautiful rain up through midnight out at the airport, officially 1/4 of an inch, and some folks have picked up more than that. For the month of February, we have as of yesterday, obviously we've had more since midnight, but we picked up just shy of 1 inch of rain, 9/10 to be exact, and that's double what it should be, the normal amount of rain for this time through February. Still a little bit lacking going back to January 1st, but that's a great start given the fact it has been so dry around here for such a long time. We still have some of this beautiful rain still hanging around here, and we've got a couple of more showers, a few decent downpours as well over here on the east side of town, all the way from Schertz right across 10 down in toward East Central High School, just to the east of China Grove. Again, not anything too awfully heavy, but just enough to make you take notice, especially if you're on the road, and make you want to remember your umbrella as well as your rain jacket today. Right there by Steele High School, got a couple of pretty good downpours coming on in here, just crossing over Randolph Air Force Base as well. And then up on the north side, like Johnson, Reagan, a couple of showers hanging around in there, and a few more just sort of scattered about over here on the near west side of town near Jefferson High School. And then further on out to the northwest, we have had a couple of thunderstorms out here in portions of the hill country, and this one cell right there, Bernie, as you can see, you're getting a couple of decent downpours right now. There's a pretty good, there may be a little bit of tiny hail mixed in with that. We did have a report of some hail earlier this morning in Kerrville, and even a couple of lightning strikes, but lightning's not a huge deal with this rain. And as you can see, everything continues to work its way to the north to northeast, and this is going to be sticking around for the next couple of hours. You can see we even still have a few more of these showers back out here throughout even western Bandera County, but then all of that will shift off to the east throughout the course of the morning, which is what the computer model does indicate very well. And the heavier rain continues to move on out of here. A few straggling showers by late in the morning, and then we'll start to see more sunshine by later on in the day. It's going to be a good looking day then. We stay on the cool side though. Temperatures will stay steady this morning and then make it up to just about the mid 50s at noon. Rain will continue to come to an end. We see a little bit of sunshine and then a whole lot more sunshine later on today, 61 for a high temperature. And we get cool morning tomorrow, warm afternoon, and then a reinforcing shot. And you can see how the much drier air comes on in here by Friday, Saturday. Tomorrow we get another cold front moving on in here, and that's going to give us some really cold air for starting off Friday, Saturday, down to freezing Saturday. And then the humidity comes back in here first of the week, and then another chance of rain by the middle part of next week. So that is great to have that every couple of days, these rain chances. 54 today at noon, mostly cloudy skies. High temperature today, 61, so we are going to be 5 degrees shy of the normal high. A lot of sunshine this afternoon, breezy. Tomorrow, 40, jacket in the morning, don't need it in the afternoon. Friday, probably going to want to keep a coat handy all day long. Only 58 for a high temperature. Lots of sunshine. Same thing on Saturday, but upper 30s Friday, freezing Saturday, so good hard freeze in the hill country. More clouds Sunday. Like I said, another chance of rain late Monday into early Tuesday with yet another front. Again, this pattern is just wonderful.
Yeah, not too bad.
2 hearts and a rose on there for Tuesday.
A reminder for Valentine's Day.
You sentimental guy, you.
It's our kind of our public service announcement to all the gentlemen out there. So.
Yes, a good reminder.
Again, you'll see the lined up of cars.
And ladies, it's okay if you make plans too. It's okay. 554, 48 degrees.
No, you do.
Both, a joint effort. There you go. Pick 3, 434, Fireball 4, Daily 4, 9483, Fireball 2.
Cash 5 numbers 4, 13, 18, 26, 29, and Mega 9, 15, 46, 55, 57. Mega Ball 4, Mega Plier 2.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, the reaction to President Biden's State of the Union address, plus Vice President Harris joining us live with the view from the White House, and desperate search for survivors in Turkey and Syria after that catastrophic earthquake. The glimmers of hope this morning. And overnight, LeBron James breaking the NBA's all-time scoring record. Michael sat down with him to talk about what it means to him. You'll see that interview right here on GMA.
San Antonio's newest escape room has opened up at the Rim. Coming up, we get a sneak peek as a few members here at KSAT 12 went to check it out. And checking Transget, I-10 at UTSA Boulevard. It's going to be slow going in spots today, folks, due to the rain in our area. And some of that has been pretty heavy at times. We'll talk to Mike coming up.